What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're back with the podcast. BANLIST is out, so we're gonna talk about it. And yeah, guys, say hi.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Oh, hi, I'm Gabriel.
Hi, I'm Cormac.
This is the worst
Yeah.
intro ever for everyone involved in this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nah, it's cool. We will roll with that. No one really cares about these intros.
Yeah.
We're missing
Fine,
Betty.
it's fine.
So yeah,
Analyst reactions. Come on, let's go.
today was
Yeah.
BANLIST today apparently.
they was
Yeah.
Today was BANLIST today, yeah.
We're recording this like what 2 hours after the BANLIST came out, so everything's still pretty
Yeah.
fresh.
The depression
yeah,
is still
what-
here.
I'm still reading up on everything right now, so I'm getting like still kind of first reactions, but yeah. It's a list.
All right.
It's a
I
list.
guess let's go over the list just in case for some reason someone is listening to didn't forgot or didn't read the
Yeah.
BANLIST. So they banned
Yeah.
Zodiac Barrage for some reason. They limited Eva for some reason. Tanky. Meow Meow. What else? I don't have it open on me. Meow Meow. Did they limit anything else?
They were the three limits. Yeah. And then semi-limited were Nessie to 2, Joker from 1 to 2, and then E-Telly from 1 to 2, and then the unlimited double Iris Magician.
Yay, that was a
And
treat.
that is your
Finally.
ban list for October 2021.
So my very first question: who played last format and was like, "Yeah, Barrage is the problem"?
It's the third way for Troy Brigade to play. It's insane. No,
It's the
it's bad.
third. It's a third banned Zodiac card.
Yeah.
It is the third ban Zodiac card.
Konami really
They
doesn't
could have
like
avoided
that.
this issue by just like banning Borbo. Like they could have done that.
I mean, I don't mind banning Barrage. Like, I think Barrage is kind of a Saki card at one. I don't think it does anything format-wise because with Tanky at 1, Trizu was probably already not good enough.
Yeah.
Well, with Tanky at 3, Trizu was already not good enough, but that's another discussion.
Yeah.
I think the fact that got addressed like arguably the hardest is really disappointing because if I made a list of decks that needed to get addressed, I think Tri Brigade would be at the bottom of that list. I think that
Yeah.
deck is just completely fine. I don't have a problem with it existing.
Yeah, the things like the combo, like the mid-range decks you can play against, you can interact against, they're easy. The issue is when you touch all the mid-range decks and you just leave all the combo decks untouched like they did it in this list. Now it's just gonna become a coin flip fest.
Yeah. It's like they actually just. It looks like they went about trying to kill Trizu itself rather than Tri Brigade variants in a whole. Obviously, because they need to see that sell the tins. But everything else just feels like a glancing hit.
I honestly don't have an issue with that until you look at the rest of the balance. Like, what the fuck is Eva Limited? Why?
Yeah, we'll get to that point. So I guess let's go through the decks. So first,
Yeah.
Tri Brigade. I mean, there's two main Tri Brigade variants. I guess there's like Tri Zoo and the Cat Tri Brigade deck. So Tri Zoo
Yeah.
lost two Thank You and Barrage, which is probably enough reason to not play Tri Zoo because like, what's the point now?
I think Trizu is completely gone now. Yeah, like for sure.
Yeah.
It's probably just gonna be
It's
like
weird though
less-
because it's just weird because like those hits aren't like massive, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that deck is always like it was like teetering on the edge. Like it was obviously the most represented deck, and it was in many people's eyes the best deck of last format. But it wasn't incredibly powerful,
Yeah.
and it wasn't incredibly consistent either.
Yeah.
It just kind of did it the same thing enough of the time. So even just that minor, well, not so minor, but like semi hit to consistency
The Thank You-
probably like weirdly does enough. Like it's kind of strange in that regard.
The Tenkichi one hit definitely hurt that deck a lot because that deck struggles a bit. So now you have like 4 starters plus 3 desires.
Yeah.
And like the
Yeah.
Kit Nervo plus another Tri-Beast that you go
I mean,
carry.
I-
But that line's
but-
awkward. Like it works, but it's bad.
I think what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna have this format where like Tri Brigade still exists and everyone is normal summoning Rescue Cat, while a Brazilian guy is playing Malfi cards and an Italian guy is playing Ancient Warrior cards.
Oh yeah, there's a now the Ancient One got worse as well. The deck plays Tanky.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
And Tanky is like insane because you can send Tanky for the guy.
Yeah. If you've opened
that's-
Fractal, you can just go, search the Ancient Warrior level 4 and
Yeah.
make Dweller.
Yeah, there's no
Mhm.
point in Tri Zoo because if the whole thing is that a Tanky kind of searched a Zoo or a Tri, but now Tanky there's one Tanky and there's no Barrage, which was like one of the payoffs for playing the Zoo cards. And
Yeah.
Prosperity is a better card than Desires. I think everyone kind of knows that, right? Like Prosperity is on average a better card.
Yeah.
So surely they gotta play the cat deck. I think the Obedient School cat deck is very good. I think it was already good last format. I think it was arguably the best deck. On the best try deck. Sorry, not the best deck.
Best try
Yeah.
deck, yeah.
And I think it's just the way, because Cat's Tri Brigade also struggles even with one tanky, because same thing. You have 3 cats which are more starters, but you really need access to Fractal because Cat never resolves. And now you have less way to get to Fractal after Cat gets stopped. Or use Fractal to bait Ash, for example.
But Cat never resolved in prior formats, but that's because we had Called by It 1, and now we also have Cross Out as well. So maybe we might see a resurgence of the Cat versions that were literally just normal summon Cat. Yeah, but like...
I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! Does become Rescue Cat and Prey.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I mean, not only that, but I mean, the way that Drytron kind of walked the format around itself in that you needed to play that many hand traps to try and have a hope of being able to play if you lose die roll. I mean,
it's a great thing that now we have a ban list that addressed Drytron, and we don't need to.
It did.
Well, I mean,
it's limited
it's addressed Drytron in such a way that they end on maybe 3 or 4 negates rather than 6.
All right. So I guess we can talk about Drytron.
Good job.
First thing, I'm pretty sure there were like at least 20% of Drytron lists playing on Eve already. I remember seeing a Cam Neo list with like 1 Eve, 2 Orange Light. And it's been a thing for a while.
Was it with Dragoon where they started cutting down from 2 to 1 Eva? Yeah. Right.
It already sided 1 Eva out. It's like, I'm sorry. The Eva to 1 hit is the one that baffles me the most because that's a hit from someone that didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I'm not sure what the okay, Konami understands Eva is a card that needs to get hit. Konami doesn't understand how to hit Eva, which is a problem.
Because it's not like the issue was Drytron getting to like 5 negates instead of 4 or 6 instead of 5 because it already FTKs you. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. No, like the Drytron endboard is the exact same as it was. It's literally not different. Like it's the same thing. And like
the Beatrice in the opponent's turn isn't as good anymore. Oh no. Well,
that's
literally the difference.
No, it actually still is because you usually send Gamma or like Delta with the for Beatrice in your turn and even layers. So like
you're playing no hand traps.
No, if you didn't get to search the Ava, you just send it now. So it's just like
it's so weird.
It's actually worthless. The one thing it makes them join fucking Orange Light and Eva less sacky.
Yeah, that's
finally. Because the worst thing ever is you hand trap the deck and they go Orange like Eva. Like hard draw. They just love doing that.
It makes it happen less often, sure. Yeah.
It's annoying, but the problem overall is just the fact that like this will be like the 4th format where you have to put Droll and Cycle Reader in your deck. Why do I have to keep doing that? It's just
And I think it's worse because right now, so we have Drytron as a combo deck. We have Dragon Link, which also Konami didn't see.
We have Virtual World, which got better. Why? I don't know.
I mean, slightly. Italy helped. I don't think it's that massive, but it helps. You play to Italy.
I just think in isolation, Italy coming back to 2 makes no sense. But that's a different topic.
And you have the Bird deck, which is literally Drytron 2.0 coming in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
it's just going to be a mess.
So you can't even like probably justify playing Psycho Reader because whenever there's too much combo, you can't justify Psycho because Psycho Reader doesn't hit the other combo decks.
Yeah, and the deck that can facilitate like hand traps the best, Pranked, is just probably dead now.
Yeah.
So there's
it's a weird one. It's a format full of combo mirrors apparently. Yay.
Yeah, no.
It feels like they were sick of everyone playing mid-range for so long that they were like, right, okay, everyone's playing like degenerate stuff now for next
50-50 coin flips. Coin flips are what?
Mid-range formats are like by and large fun. It's just when
they go on too long. Right.
It's not so much they go on too long. It's when they're like, I think Tri Brigade is so linear and so easy that it makes people get sick of it a lot more because like it's not particularly fun playing it and there's not really too much you can do against it unless you open double hand trap, right? You're getting revolted and that's just such a huge tempo swing and an interaction on your opponent's turn. Like, that's normally enough, right?
I think Tri Brigade is exactly kind of deck I like for the game. I don't think it does too much.
No, I think Tiebreaker is just like it could have gone. It could have gone without a
It-
hit.
It's the kind of deck like you don't panic when you're sitting at the table and your opponent's playing try. Like
Yeah.
you will have the opportunity to try to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I panic when I sit at the table and my opponent goes Alpha Tribute Zeta. I'm like, fuck.
To be honest, I'm more worried when my opponent normal
Yeah.
summons a Pranked monster, for example.
It's
But I think the point though more is like with Tri Brigade, like you're not so worried when you're playing against it. It's just that when you're playing against it for the 80th time that format, like in terms of an enjoyment of the game factor,
yeah.
like less so. Like it's also like very popular, right? So like it's not even so much that it's oppressive. It's just kind of like it's just there constantly and just running into so many of them, and like by virtue of numbers. And it is decent deck, right? At the end of the day, like
It is. We like talking shit about it, but it is okay.
I think the way they address the way they address Tri Brigade is fine at the end of the day. I think nobody was really going to complain too much. Like the deck still exists, and I think it's fine that it still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
like
it does.
that with the other.
To me, the main objective it looks like it's achieved is it's completely cut out Zeus from the majority of decks, of Tri decks now. Which
I guess. I mean,
Zeus Rex.
Well, I mean, the Zoo was literally just a Zeus engine, right?
Yeah.
Just had the added advantage of being searchable within the deck, and
I mean, the Rescue Cat,
loaded
the
the
Rescue
break.
Cat will also play Zeus.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it's good enough.
but like
I
trying to
never
normal-
seen Centauria into Zeus Resolve. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, but people are gonna play it, so
Yeah, it's just that it's also less consistent as well, right? Like you're not like my going second play is always like you're always gonna like it's not easy as normal summoning as Zoo.
It cuts the options that deck has, which I guess is okay. Like I don't think if they did that and they hit Drytron and Dragon Link and they didn't buff Virtual World for no reason, I'll be fine. My issue is they touch Prankids and try just enough so they don't die, so nothing really changes, and then they just left combo untouched, so everyone just flocks into combo.
I honestly think the most frustrating thing is the way they address Drytron, really. Like, that's just...
The Eva one is baffling.
Yeah. This is just like, they didn't want to ban Ben 10. So they were like, how else do we hit the deck? And it was like...
I mean, if this was a Ben 10 ban as well, I'd be, would be, willing to shit on this list maybe as much as I currently am.
I think this list is bad, but like one Drytron hit could make me tolerate, because I think Dragon and Virtual are way more manageable combo decks than Drytron is, even if Drytron's not as good as a pick as the other two. Because I think there's a difference. It's just like Drytron is such an oppressive deck to play against, such an oppressive deck to prepare for. It's everything wrong with modern Yu-Gi-Oh!
The issue is, big picture, no matter how you look at it, there are 0 Drytron hits on this ban list.
Yeah. If it doesn't change. If you thought Drytron was a good deck before, you still think Drytron's a good deck now.
For sure. You probably think it's even better, actually, which is a problem.
That's actually true.
It's only better because, everything else got hit when it really wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, but didn't
it's a mixture
as well?
That, and also, it's a mixture of other decks getting hit, but then also the fact that the format in about a month's time, or a little over a month's time, will become more diverse because of more new decks that come into the format, and then it means that you can side and prepare less specifically for Drytron, which then makes its position in the format better, which will make it more annoying.
Yeah, my thing is with Burst of Destiny is that I think the main excitement was for everyone to try new decks because they would rotate the old decks. I don't think any of the new decks are better than what we have right now. I think Sword Soul has a good Tri Brigade matchup, and it's one of the reasons it kind of clogs Tri Brigade off in the OCG. But even if you look right now, it's not like it's the most represented deck in Japan right now. And it is a deck that does play under Maxi somewhat. I mean, pretty well actually, under Maxi, compared to the other decks. And I think it's...
I genuinely wish Maxi came back. Like, instead of this list, just give me 3 Maxi instead.
I mean, if you're gonna do this shit off a list, I would take Maxi. I don't like Maxi, but I'd rather.
It's like when I consider like 2018 Yu-Gi-Oh a really like bad year because Maxi got banned like mid 2017, right? And then they just released all of this gas for combo, and it was horrific. It was just combo deck after combo deck after combo deck, and now we've just literally got exactly the same thing where so much combo is viable, and everything else just seems weak.
There's a weird thing though where like where with like 2018, I think the fact that 2018 happened led to the creation of cards like Nibiru and Dark Ruler, and we see like Droplet even like a bit later on. So those things exist now. So even if this format is more like, doesn't make it better, right? If the format is like full of combo, we still need to like draw these cards, right? But I do think there is more viability in a format being a bit healthier, even if it's more full of combo these days. Even
2018 was like
even if it's not what you prefer.
There are no ways to punish combo, basically. Now you have.
2018 was peak oppression Yu-Gi-Oh! I think the only time after 2018 where like it had similar levels of oppression was when VFD was in Virtual World. But
that was a rough one. No, Block Dragon Emancipator is arguably similar.
Yeah, I actually don't think Block Dragon is better than Extra Link, but yeah.
It has nothing to do with the oppression, it has to do with the consistency. Like, after a certain point, a combo board or an FTK are actually the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if the combo board wins 98% of the time and the FTK you die, it's basically an FTK, right? Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think that like the time where like decks like Rock existed and even Drytron now, the card pool is more well equipped. Whereas back in 2018, like if you contextualize it, most hand traps were hittable by Cold by the Grave. Midbreaker was at 3, and people discovered that card. Aqua Dolphin was a thing. Like there was so much worse, like oppressive cards that just allowed you to win on turn 1. That is not to say that Yu-Gi-Oh right now is good. I don't think it is at all. I actually think Alice is probably
definitely not saying that. Right?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just stale. Like I don't dislike this format.
I think it was stale. I think now it's gonna become bad.
I think it'll be worse now.
Yeah, because now we have 4 combo decks that are just gonna play against each other all the time.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
actually,
personally, I take that over stale.
That's true. I would like some diversity, and I think a lot of people are gonna play Sword. So I've never seen an OCG deck this hyped. I mean, sure, Zoo was very hyped, but like the deck is like insanely hyped for how good it is. I think so. Just the fact that there's many people are gonna flock onto it at some point will make the format somewhat playable.
I think Sword's also Evil Twin is also bait. The DPE is like the only real card.
For sure. DP is the best card as well. The DP is crazy. Yeah, that Fusion Destiny is not gonna stay at 3 for very long.
Oh, do we want to bring up the fact that everyone thought Dragoon was going to get banned because of DP coming out, and then it just didn't?
That was it was never.
I didn't see them doing
like I didn't think it was going to happen, but like it's one of those things.
I could see them doing Verte. I could see Verte happening, and they didn't. Once again.
Yeah.
I think Verte will happen.
Yeah, Verte is getting banned at some point.
Yeah, it should.
That's a really weird one because, like, obviously it's basically the fiber but for fusions, right? But it's only really broken with like Fusion Destiny. I think Neo's Fusion got used for it as well, and obviously Rebel's Fusion, where you can just summon strong targets with those, right? Shadol Fusion, yeah, but like it's all cost and send materials from deck to summon like super strong cards, right?
I mean, but the only way to make playable fusion cards is usually by sending from deck.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
But maybe just don't print things that are so absurdly broken for those targets, like Dragoon Enforcer.
No, but the thing is, like, you need to keep printing good fusion cards. That's gonna happen because fusions are mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! Every card you print now that has fusion in the name, you need to think about Verte. So I don't think Verte is staying for too long.
Yeah, I think Verte limits card design in the future as well. So it's gonna get like.
Also, did they forget Imperial Order? Did they not play Yu-Gi-Oh! In the last 6 months?
I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the Tri-Brigade hits that the best Tri-Brigade card is still in the game.
It is, yes. They're still gonna Furge as Royal Order, as tradition.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't go for it because I feel like Konami in the West have got a different way of looking at it compared to OCG, where OCG love Maxi, they love like cards that, you know, necessarily stop a lot of people doing things, right? And I don't see Order too different to Maxi for what it is. In that it literally turns off basically people for ages, right? I just don't see why Konami West don't hate it as much as the players do.
I think Order is worse. Because Maxi at least works if you draw first or second. Imperial Order is a horrible card going second, but it's the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Going first. So it just generates this coin flip, and everyone decided to main Order because everyone just wants the auto win going first. So it makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Even more coin flippy.
I'm surprised the card dodged the ban list.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
I have like a thought about maybe if the fact that it was brought back errated, if there's something that's like you can't reban a card that they brought back
Yeah,
like
I
errated to make it legal again, sort of thing. You
I
know,
was thinking
I
of
feel like those
that.
sort of things can't really exist after Firewall, but you also wonder if maybe that's something that they're like, we want to avoid this because it looks like we messed up.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
also,
they did.
Firewall is
Yeah,
like
they
an
did, yeah.
extremely special case. Like that's an entire story.
Yeah,
in
of
and
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's just like
No,
these sort of
it's-
cards that you're like you think they can't ban for whatever reason. Um, obviously, like some of them do end up going because they're just so impressive. Maybe you just need like this was the point where we thought Imperial Orders hit peak
yeah.
like oppressiveness because everyone's just main decking it. I don't know. I don't know how much further you have to go to like make them just be like, right, okay, we just have
Yeah,
to
no,
ban this. This doesn't
like
matter.
yeah, I was going to say like I don't know what the reasoning for not hitting order is because there really shouldn't be one, right?
Yeah, the
No,
only one I
we
can
can-
see is the one Cormac brought up. They don't want to admit they fucked up.
Yeah.
That's all I can
don't
imagine.
think I don't think the players care about that though, but I guess it depends on how Konami sees it,
I don't know.
right?
No game that has Imperial Order is a good game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
No.
Yeah, like if Imperial Order gets banned, I don't think the players are gonna care about going, "Ha, Konami knew they fucked up." They're just gonna be like, "Thank God." This
No,
card is
Yeah,
banned."
yeah, yeah.
Literally,
But like,
players don't care. It's Konami's own
Yeah.
viewpoint on that.
like an ego
maybe,
in
yeah,
Konami.
like,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this
That's
was
fair.
actually one of the perfect lists to do it because then we'd be stopped focusing on the stupid hits like Evital one and
Yes.
Yeah.
just going, oh, good job, Konami. You've made
Yeah,
the game
true.
somewhat better while you've also made it unbearable for
no,
another
alright,
3
alright. Let's be real. If Order gets banned, the format actually doesn't change that much. It's still an unsearchable one-off. It's just a sacky card. It doesn't
Yeah, no,
benefit anyone from Imperial Order being
definitely
legal.
doesn't. Yeah. It's not.
It's just
not
one of those
like-
ones where it's like if you're gonna make a bad list, you at least get some goodwill out of
Yeah,
people by,
just
banning
like throw, like give people a bone. Like, yes, Order.
I guess we should go through the rest of the list. Pendulum is the best deck, guys.
Oh,
by
true.
far.
I was just
It's,
thinking that, yeah.
it's Joker to 2, Double Iris to
Yeah.
3. That changes
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, but it does
No.
coincide with pendulums in Duel Links. I wonder if Konami.
I
are thinking
honestly
that
think. I honestly think.
That's
like,
actually a good call.
even Electromite to 1 might not be enough because you can't really deck build Pendulum.
I hope Pendulum never gets playable again. I hate the deck. That deck
I
is
agree.
Drytron. That deck is actually just Drytron.
Yeah, it's Drytron, but it somehow does its job even better than Drytron does its job.
You can hand trap Pendulum other than draw. All the hand traps are like shit trades.
Oh, Ghost Ogre Electromite, come on.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not really a... Yeah, no,
Nah.
it's...
Doesn't
I'm
work.
glad that Pendulum's gone, and I don't think it's ever gonna come back.
Yeah,
And
it's
I-
not-
Yeah, these
I,
cards coming
I,
back.
I
won't
wouldn't
do
mind
much.
them getting like some kind of like mini Electromite in the future, but it just can't do what Electromite did. It
I
can't
think
do as much as that.
Pendulum is a flawed mechanic I would like to see it eradicated.
I think
Yeah,
the
it's
mechanic right now is completely fine, so it doesn't really matter.
The only Pendulum card I ever liked was Lunalight Tiger because it didn't Pendulum summon.
It didn't Pendulum summon by choice, Gabe, by choice.
Because it didn't make sense. Nice, because like Pendulum just forces you to play with your whole hand, which forces you to not play non-engine, which
Yeah,
streamlines you into being like going first deck.
bro, normal summon Imano Iwato, scale Endymion.
Yeah, sure, Vlad.
Yeah, let's go.
What I mean,
Yeah,
like
no.
even the that sort of deck wasn't even really like a pendulum deck in the
Yeah.
way that we like thought about them before. You know what I mean? That sort of deck is like more tolerable because like it's a real
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh deck that just uses the pendulum
The pendulum
mechanic in interesting ways, right? Rather
Yeah,
than being I'm gonna flood the board of like infinite negates sort of thing.
I actually like some Pendulum cards. I think they have like interesting interactions, and I think there is like a skillful deck to play. Like old Pendulum Magicians. I just think that Pendulum right now, whenever you release a new card, it's gonna become a new like unbreakable board deck.
I think
Like-
if Konami
Kurt's
tries to
gonna
make
make a new video.
Pendulum good,
Yeah.
I think we are at a stage where if Konami tries to make Pendulum good, they're gonna be forced to make it really fucking good. Because if it's
Yeah.
not really fucking good, it's not gonna be worth playing because Pendulum is flawed, right?
I think this is not gonna happen. Like they're gonna keep giving Pendulum their food back, and it doesn't do anything.
No. I to be honest, I even think like if we get Monkey Ward back, it just doesn't do anything.
Same. I actually don't think it changes much. It's still Pendulum.
No.
That's
I think like the only card that starts to get worrisome is Electromite. One Electrolyte's back. We did so
Oh,
think-
maybe Kieran as well. That was I did not enjoy dealing with Kieran.
I don't think Kirin would change that much. I think
I
Pendulum
think-
still has the
I
same
think
flaws with Kirin.
I think Kirin is like the best Pendulum card ever printed by far. But
Nah,
don't think-
that is a stretch and a half.
It did exist in a time before like
Yeah.
Droplets Order and other. know,
There is
way
no
novel
way
to-
Kirin is a better card than Astrograph. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, I was
Just
thinking
in isolation. In isolation. In isolation,
Yeah.
Kirin is better.
I mean, Kieran was pretty much the entire reason that Metal Foes were
Yeah,
a
because
good deck, right?
because it was a Yu-Gi-Oh time that people couldn't out Kirin. Nowadays, literally anything
Yeah,
outs Kirin.
I mean, I'm speaking about the context of Kirin in its time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fine.
It was
Yeah,
really
sure, I can get that. Yeah.
from ever since like 2016 until Kirin getting banned. It was really good. It was
Yeah,
probably
no, for sure.
parts of the card pool,
Alright.
right?
Yeah, of course. The card was very, very good.
I don't think it coming back does anything,
It doesn't
which
matter.
says a lot.
Yeah. I think this
think
was too
Electrolyte
too
is an
much
issue.
time. This was too much time to discuss your Pendulum. No one really cares other than
Yeah,
chat.
yeah. This is a ban list. like, this
Like
discussion,
I
not a-
was
I
planning
don't
to say Joker to 2, Double Iris to 3, and no one gives a shit. That was it. That was the whole plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna segue into my whole thing about how I'm like offended they put 3 cards to the semi-limited list. in the
Yeah,
ban list,
oh,
to be honest
yeah.
with you. Like,
They
it's
were
not
doing
really
so
out
well.
with it.
like I saw like double iris is off. There's only Mali left as it should be, and then they
Yeah.
added 3 more. I was like,
Oh yeah, we
like,
forgot 2 cards. Yeah, true. All right.
yeah.
Nessie, sure. I can live with Nessie to 2.
Yeah.
I actually like that. I like
I think
Nessie.
that's gonna come back. I think
I like
this is gonna-
Dangerous. I think it's a D. But Teleport scares me because if they're trying to clean the 2 list, would they ever put Teleport to 3? Because that's where it starts to get.
This
Weird.
card has yo-yoed between so many different limitations over the
Literally.
years,
People
and
forget.
it's only ever been good and not a problem at 1. So
No, but the thing is, if Italy comes back to 3, people forget there's a card called Reflector.
Yeah,
That's probably-
Cyreflector is the was I gonna bring up because that card it's so shit because it requires actual 2 garnets, not 1 2.
But
it's-
I think with Italy, it might
With
be
2
worth it.
Italy, yeah. So OCG played Infernoble with 2 1-for-1, 2 Italy, Cyreflector, like 60 card
Yeah.
Infernoble. Because it was
Yeah.
a 1 card Hulk, but it's also a 1 card Chaos Ruler.
It's just a really good card for all those like janky chaos decks, and it makes
Yeah.
them work.
I don't like Italy Chuchu. I don't like Virtual
No.
World getting boosted. Horrible deck,
Me
horrible
neither.
card design.
I
Yeah, that
think
was-
Nash is the only person that I've seen so far that is happy about the ban list, and it is
Teleport
no-
too.
he's like, bro, I fucking told you this will happen.
This
Ah.
this
We
boost.
could add a Italy combo spreadsheet now because 2 of them, so it's a bit more often. You see,
Dude,
the
watch,
one thing-
watch me make like spreadsheet combo lines of opening Italy, like Italy.
yeah, that's
Lily.
what I was saying.
You know, it's the one
Yeah.
thing the teleport actually allows that comes out in bold. There is that level 4 Cupid synchro.
Oh, a friend of mine
So-
was
So this
sending me
weird,
combos
yeah.
for that yesterday.
Yeah, so there's like a new like line in the OCG. You make Hawk, you summon Jet synchro, but you can summon 001. You go that into 001. You make Aurora Dawn. You summon 3 back. You make this 4 synchro, and when it goes off the field, it searches Lulu.
Yeah, that's with 600 defense or something.
Yeah, so it
Right.
searches Lulu or Lily, I think.
Yeah.
Mostly Lulu.
And then does it go into shooting riser and then like
Yeah, so
I
then
don't
you, then
know.
you,
I just
then you,
figured.
yeah, then you can make Riser, you can send something, then you can make a level 10 synchro. I think, or you make like Juju.
Yeah, you probably make Juju, right?
You make
Same
Juju for the name. So
Okay, name
that
it.
line becomes a lot better with more Italis. It's like when we were playing Deep Sea Diva in Link Cross Virtual World, because that existed for like 2 weeks before they hit Link Cross.
This is for 2 hours. 2 hours.
I like that. I thought it was decent. Okay, if you had Italy Chuchu and Prosperity, you could argue that was better. Because
Yeah.
like VW playing Prosperity makes this second Italy actually count a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Oh, yeah.
Virtual World does become better. Will it become more relevant than it is right now? Maybe,
It's a-
but not because Italy is at 2.
I
It's probably
think that losing Prank Kids as a good matchup is worse than gaining this Italy.
Yeah, I think so. But I think every deck has just worse matchups overall now because it's 4 combo decks in the format.
It's true. I mean, Virtual's horrible in combo, has always been. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 50-50.
every combo deck is horrible into
No,
combo.
but Virtual specifically has a very big trouble post siding
That's
because once you side, your deck breaks 50% of the time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
And like, I think the biggest issue is that last couple of BANLISTs, we'd get them and we'd be like, okay, this is interesting, and then we'd go and we'd like try to think about how we are building decks. Right now, this list is just like last BANLIST. Everything is known.
This list
everything
is just Burst of
everyone was
Destiny
talking
waiting.
about every deck.
Yeah, we're
Like,
literally just it's pretty much same old Drytron. We
Yeah,
completely discount anything for Trizu.
I'll show up to locals with the same deck.
Yeah, like, I don't
I'll do
see
the same.
myself-
Yeah.
Exactly
don't
same
see
list.
myself-
I'm not changing a card.
Gabriel's leaking his list for coming format, by the way, guys.
I don't see
It's
myself.
coming form, new form of Dragon Link list.
Wait,
I
wait,
don't see
Dragon's
myself
worse.
going
You
to,
can
like,
play
a thing like
Valor's
that.
with less good Chaos Runner builds now.
Oh.
Fire Brigade's gone.
No,
Unfortunately.
but Brankins is gone, so Valor's better.
True. Wait, no. Wait. If Drytron's everywhere, just main cycle reader. Easy. There you go.
Exactly. Just mill cycle reader.
No,
50,
I don't see myself at any point during this format sitting in a voice call for like 3 hours a day, for 2 weeks, and just trying to think about a deck because I feel like everything is known. I feel like it's just.
I think
it's-
whenever Burst of Destiny comes out, we have a big enough meta shift to like proper do things. But I think we're just with the delays, we're just gonna have like a dead month until then, because it's
Yeah.
kind of gonna be the same thing. So usually like BANLIST week is super exciting because I get to try a lot of stuff. Right
You
now,
try to-
I don't want to play.
Yeah, me neither. I
And
remember
that's a
last
shame
time.
because like regionals, well, promotional regionals, should be starting up again soon, and like this list has instilled absolutely no desire to want to put
No,
much
that's
time
right.
into them other than
Yeah.
walking up with like pretty much the deck I was playing before.
The one thing I wish for is I hope Burst of Destiny is a better set than we all think right now.
I mean, it's
Because-
very good.
Change. We really need the change. Like, I hope we get some like broken TCG exclusives or whatever.
B Trooper.
B Troopers.
yeah.
Trooper again.
I'll be completely okay with B Trooper getting better support. I just need new decks to work on and new things to try because right now with the card pool we have available, any tournament in the next month, I don't see you gaining a significant enough advantage.
Yeah, basically that. I
No,
mean,
it's a
there's no
fine one.
tournament. There's nothing as well. Yu-Gi-Oh kind of been in a stale position since remote dual YCS. I don't know, at least for me. There's nothing really happening.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah, the only real change that's happened since then was people started playing Rivalry Gozen because no one could really play through it, and then everyone sort of called off that, and then we're back at pretty much where we were.
We just
Oh, yes.
flip-flopped on the rivalry goes and switch. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Dragon
regress
was a
back
bit
to what
more
this format was at the
that
beginning.
was
It's
it,
not
you know.
like everyone has coverage for everything because everything has already been revealed and everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And this format is just a extension of that, really. Like by the literal sense, I don't see anything new showing up for a while, and it's only gonna happen during Burst of Destiny. Really.
Yeah.
You
We'll
might
see
get
how.
a week where birds are out beforehand. I don't know. Like,
It's like
Yeah,
2
and
weeks.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
Birds is a bit of a like it's an interesting deck, but it's a combo deck. It has to be played as a combo deck. It's kind of like stop it or you lose, and
I
I
don't see
feel
it being better. I don't see it being better than Jytron, personally, which is a big statement.
no. I think it might. I think it's easier to break than Drytron is, but it's harder to stop than Drytron is. So it depends if people are playing
that makes sense.
breakers or if people are playing hand traps.
That's also another thing. You're probably not gonna be able to do both because there's 4 combo
Yeah.
decks.
You can so you can't play breakers again because Drytron's a deck. We
Yeah.
had this discussion. Every card that's like except droplets, all of the other board breakers are unplayable to Drytron, so you can't play them because they're conflicting with a hand trap spot. Even droplets is somewhat unplayable.
Even in isolation, droplet is really stupid.
Yeah, I don't like dropping to Drytron, but I mean at least you can activate droplets and Drytron.
Yeah. I don't know. This is just not promising at all. It's like the worst Yu-Gi-Oh has been in a very long time for me personally. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, it's weird. It's not that bad of a format. It's just the staleness that kind of kills it. I still
think
think
it's
Burst of
all
Destiny
good.
will change a lot. I think Fusion Destiny is like a super
Yeah.
relevant card for the game. I don't know if it's a good card for the game, but it's a super relevant card.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
hope it stirs up some stuff. Is Flunderies coming out in Bud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thunder is
that the-
okay. It's okay. I
Yeah,
played it a bit. It's not horrible. It's not great.
Okay, I see.
It's the thing, like
There's a lot
if you properly hit the decks now, so like you hit Prankets like you did, or like you hit Dudu, you ban Striker Dragon or something, you ban Alpha, and you limit Nervo. Then sure, then we can play new decks. Then all the new decks are playable. But now there's no reason to play the new stuff over the old stuff because it's probably not better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of think that like they'll just get numbers regardless, just because of the fact that, well, one, people are just sick of the decks now. Secondly, like the Tri Brigade and the Prankets hits, like there isn't loads of them, and they don't look massive on paper, right? But they're probably enough to push people towards playing new, like completely
Yeah.
untouched decks.
I think
that are,
Pranked-
like, similar, slightly higher power level, you know.
I think Pranked is dead, personally.
I think
think
you can
it's
like play
dead.
Pranked, but you won't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like it's not a competitive deck anymore. Like,
If
can
you
play
if you
Zen.
really like to play Prankets, you can keep playing Prankets. The
Yeah.
Prankets hit was fine. I don't mind him touching Meow. It's just the lack of Dragon Link and Drytron hits.
We kind of
Yeah.
knew Dragon Link couldn't get touched though, right?
Yeah, we knew. Everyone saw this one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like a dry tron, bigger issue.
I
for
just
sure.
Yeah.
no, I think everyone's surprised about what they did to Drytron.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Well,
Just laughing at it because
yeah.
of a double cry. Like it's.
I'm
What?
surprised that there are like 5 cards that on most people's lists of cards. Oh, I'd like to see this card banned, this ban list, and absolutely none of them on any
Yeah.
person's list would
and
ever put
Zodiac
Barrage on there.
Barrage got banned.
Yeah.
Trash. It was the one. Yeah.
Barrage is the problem, guys. It's still limited in trad format, so I'm
Yeah.
good because I'm
I
becoming
think
a trad player.
if you can still play as well.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's see how it develops. We have a couple. We have any? We have the Liverpool tournament before the
Yeah.
boat, I guess.
Regionals will probably get announced after Bode, and that's what basically 6 weeks away at this point. So
Yeah.
we should start seeing regionals in November.
Quickly cover that thing that in the US at least they officially said that Burst of Destiny regionals are done
Are
via
remote.
remote tool.
Yes,
Yeah.
we haven't
haven't
seen
done
the
anything about
European
the-
documents, but
I mean, we
I'd imagine
expect
it'd
it
be
to be
the
the same, but we don't have an EU
Yeah.
confirmation yet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think there's a world where EU ones are IRL. We'll see
mean,
though.
And
I don't think there'll be IRL in the UK. We're a mess at the moment, but
I
mean,
maybe
we'll
in other
see.
competently governed countries.
I mean, for COVID wise, at least it's been working better than expected. People at
I mean,
least
you
here
guys-
get.
You're true. You're right, but we're also our supermarket shelves are going empty, and our energy prices are going up. And
Well, true, but that's the UK.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
that's post
it might,
Brexit
it
UK
might
for
happen
you.
in the UK, but you know we're a bit of a
We'll-
mess.
we'll
You guys
see how
are
Tottenham Europe
with
does.
Liverpool next
Yeah.
week. Is Liverpool next week?
Now Liverpool's
Liverpool
like
is-
15th of October.
It is
Okay.
the 16th, 17th of October.
16th,
Well, it's on the
Cormac, are you
16th of
going for
October.
sure?
What?
I'm
Okay.
looking at flights this week. We'll see.
Get a flight. Come
Yeah, we'll
cross the
see.
border.
Yeah. Get a flight for a local, small regional. Let's
It's
see.
small regional,
I'm
so you
not
can
desperate for IRL play.
new
Smart.
format.
It's more of a weekend out with the boys,
New
right?
new
New
format.
format.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. We're getting a sick place. We'll be fun.
It's going to be so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah,
guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really hope.
Oh, have you
Oh,
seen the
God,
place
man.
hash? I
I
don't
need
think
my
you've
lighting
seen it.
No, I haven't seen
Oh,
the
I
place.
need to say
It's-
because it's on the
it's-
Facebook chat. Yeah, I'll send
Yeah,
it to you.
I need to see it.
It probably
actually,
looks.
yeah.
Why am I not in the Facebook chat? Am I
No,
not in the team?
it's not the
Well, people
Cycles
who are
Facebook
going.
chat. It's the Liverpool Facebook chat.
Ah,
Yeah.
because I'm
Unless-
also not in the Snapchat, you know.
Is this still podcast, by the way?
Yeah,
Right.
Rage just complaining. He's like, I'm not on the
I think
Snapchat,
that-
baby Rage.
Like, I'm picking up on a very depressed vibe here. Like we're just sad that the balance is shit.
No,
Right?
I didn't expect a
Yeah.
banglist today, but like I'm disappointed. I was happy for like 5 seconds when Tristan wrote banglist on the group chat, and then it's just been downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just sad. Like
Like
Oh,
I
what-
thought this list was going to be pretty like underwhelming or mediocre.
and you're
I
still
just didn't
disappointed,
expect
right?
the hits they made. Yeah, like my expectations were so low, and they still managed to like go lower. Like that's like the
Yeah.
the
So
weird thing. Where
basically Spurs in the weekend. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, if there was
I mean,
this
yeah, I
list,
didn't have that impression. I was happy. So anyway,
if there was this list with like order banned, maybe mine banned as well, because I still
nah,
hate that.
Arthur band, Eva band. I'm happy.
Eva bad. Eva bad.
I think Eva to win is actually the thing that's irritating me this whole time.
Me
Because
too.
it just shows they didn't play test. It shows no one in Konami actually pays attention. Like a quick Google search, try turn combo video, shows you can do the same combo with one less negate with one Eva from Alpha Zeta.
Yeah.
Feels
and-
like when they put Raptor and then Jeff Jones from
Yeah.
Norden, and they were like, oh,
This is
Oh,
literally
no.
Konami like a Ratchet 2, my job here is done.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It actually just makes no sense. It's so sad. And like the thing is, right? Like we've already talked about this, but Tritron already played 66% of the games it played with one
Yeah.
Eva.
Yeah.
Like it just
Like,
game 2,
doesn't-
game 3 always had one Eva, right? Unless you go first, but
Yeah,
that's
you
different
keep
story.
going first. I mean, they already won because they're playing Tritron.
Exactly. Which is why I think the thing that is frustrating me the most here is definitely the fact that the most oppressive deck still exists.
Yeah.
And that's just annoying.
Yeah, well, we're kind of repeating ourselves at this point. We'll wait, we'll see. Maybe there's some development. I wish they brought more stuff back at least. That's the one thing, right? All right, you don't want to kill Dragon Link and Dragon for some reason, but can you like, if you're gonna bring Nessie back, bring like Nessie Chuchu, Jackalope Chuchu, Tsuchinok Chuchu, bring Harp back.
please.
Give me a Snow.
Seka?
yeah, this
Seka's Light.
Like,
Give
when I
me
was on,
something
like,
to work with.
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks ago when I was on, I was like, I feel like this. If I felt this balance was going to be underwhelming, I wanted them to bring something back
Yeah.
that would just make the game more interesting. So I felt like there wasn't really anything they could hit that would then
Yeah.
make the format interesting as a result of that from this ban list. Like it was just like
Yeah.
you need to find a way to inject something into the
Yeah,
game, which
I
is
mean-
probably with the releases like Crossout and then the new text. But
I mean,
I
who's
would've very
excited
much-
for Crossout? Who,
Yeah,
who wakes up and go like, yes, the game is better now. We can negate the hand traps even more, and then talents people.
Oh, what are your polls saying, by the way, Hash?
Oh, true.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
for people that don't know, all right, I made 2 polls on Zodiac because I make polls sometimes. It's funny. So I asked people if they thought that this balance is worse than the one with the one where Faker went to 3, which was the one where like no changes happened except for Faker, Unicorn, and Alticano Hawk going to 3, and 67 people think that this balance is worse, as opposed to 16 who think that the Faker balance is worst. Which is I think a bit reactionary, but it's good content, you know.
Yeah,
The
it's just
other
the
one-
reactions.
Yeah. And the other one is Max C23 better than this balance? And 28 people say Max C23 is better, as opposed to 8 people who say that no, this balance is better. Which, to be honest, I think Max C23 is better than this balance.
I would have.
All right. I think
from-
it depends which case standpoint you're taking, right? I think like this format is better than no banlist Maxi to 3 because Maxi is a horribly designed card.
Yeah.
But from a player's point of view of like at least something changes, I would rather have Maxi to 3, even if the game is more unhealthy by design, because at
Yeah,
least it's different.
I would have. I mean, I'm looking into this format in the next few months and thinking this is going to be pretty much the same thing I've been playing for the past few months, same meta pretty much. But I would get the immense enjoyment from watching people have an absolute meltdown about Maxi coming back and climbing over people like in a Black Friday like sale to try and get their crossouts because they're so scared of it. And I think I'd probably get more enjoyment out of watching that than actually playing the game in the next few months.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I can't
You
wait
don't
for
even have
Tenki
that,
to
so
get
it's-
ashed all the time now, by the way, just because it's limited and people.
It's a
love it.
one-off. No, I should get ashed. It's like how
Yeah.
Striker Dragon started getting Veilered.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a one-off.
True.
It's a one-off. Now you Veiler him.
Yeah.
Back in the day, nah, we didn't Veiler
Yeah.
Striker Dragon.
But on the topic of things coming back, I think a lot of people genuinely thought Harp, Horror, and Colossus might have happened, and I
Nah.
think that's true for me.
I think Colossus will never happen. I could see Harp. I think
Yeah,
Harp
I agree.
should happen. I like Harp.
But
Or could
to
probably
be
bad
fair,
still.
the thing with Harp is like Gearsu with Harp at the same time is a little.
And it's
don't
pretty
know.
strong, but like, what kind of board are they making at this point that's any more absurd than any deck we've got at the moment.
Probably didn't gear soon to Verte summon window with instant fusion.
It might be
Yeah,
less
that's
to do
true.
with
Good
the end
one.
board, and it's more like it kind of be like having these like the mid-rangey control-y decks that are like one card engines, like the
Yeah.
prank kids, like they like them existing, and the new one is the evil twin or whatever. But like Orcus
Yeah.
kind of invalidates a lot of them. It's kind
And-
of just the best one out of all of them.
Yeah,
So-
they don't gain anything by bringing Harp back. Like we would like it for our freshness,
right.
but for the field, like Konami doesn't get anything.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Konami have realized that that doesn't matter what they do, people will still keep playing the game because they just want to play the game.
And Konami brought back
Well, like-
Stalio and Engage, and everyone played Striker
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks.
But like they were good cards to bring back. They've not really changed anything, but people
Yeah.
that want to play those
See, but
decks, they can.
it made that list at least a bit more fresh because it gave people
No,
more options.
Do you remember
Exactly.
how excited we were to play this format when it first happened?
Yeah,
We were really happy.
it was
we were
very
like,
fun.
Yeah, let's have
Like
fun.
I had a lot of
Even
fun
once
playing
we
like the
played-
YCS format, for example, when nothing was discovered, everyone was fine tuning things. Prankets wasn't solved. Dragon Link didn't really exist. Everyone was over prepared for Drytron because everyone knew what Drytron did. Try was still not solved.
Before that. Remember the balance before that where we had like 13 hours to deck build for one LCS?
Oh
That
yeah,
was also really fun.
that was
Oh,
decent.
That was
Also.
really,
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Whereas this one is just
It
like
doesn't feel the same way.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
feel
They
the same
were
way
like
this time.
they were
Yeah,
like
but-
everyone figures out the stuff in the first 2 weeks anyway. There's no point in like
But
Yeah,
last
why would it
time-
bother?
bringing it back.
But last
Yeah,
means
exactly.
that the last banners we got, the only two bans were what LP and Trident, unless I'm missing anything.
Yeah, but yeah, those
Those were the two cards that were pretty much responsible for the best decks in that format
Yeah.
at the time. So
Now-
those were easy bans.
Now the
but-
only ban is a card that's borderline irrelevant because it's an unsearchable one-off.
Yeah, it's targeting a specific variant of a deck
To be
that
clear,
was obviously probably one of the most dominant, decks in the format. I mean, you can look at the extravaganza results up until people just started playing Geist because UK players. But the YCS, it was just
I keep saying that what's it called? Dino should come back, and people disagree with that. But I think Pirzo shouldn't have gotten hit. Why is Trident banned?
Dragon didn't get banned for Purzo. Dragon
could you imagine?
Dragon got banned for Trizo.
Yeah, could you imagine current Trizu having Trident as well?
Okay, fine. It got banned for Trizo. Let's just take a little moment and understand how tragic that hits Pirzo as well. Because Pirzo was completely fine, and I think it was healthy
Yeah,
to have a deck like.
Purzo was a decent deck for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I really enjoyed having it, and we just don't have decks like that anymore. And now they also the closest thing to that was maybe Prank Kid, and Prank Kid's also now gone. What deck realistically can you play, which is a good engine that is resilient and does what it does very well, and then you can throw in a bunch of tech slots. Other than
I
Tri
think it's actually Tri Brigade, yeah.
yeah. Other than
I
Tri
mean,
Brigade,
Prank Kids to an extent as well. That's
I
just
mean,
engine.
you
and
can
that's
still play the same Prankins list, but it's now
Yeah.
worse. And Prankins was already bad.
I think it's a lot worse though.
Yeah, I mean the one Meow matters a lot.
Yeah, and I think Tri Brigade is also a lot worse because the Cat Tri Brigade was never good in my opinion,
No.
right?
I really like the school deck. I'm a bit biased, but I think that deck is already better than
gonna
Trizo.
look at the
Has
spell deck.
more
I'm gonna look
good
into it.
starters. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah, for sure,
interesting
that
and
one's
It's at least something somewhat different.
yeah.
Yes.
Also, I think the deck has been very underappreciated throughout the last.
No one
format.
plays it. No one plays it.
Yeah,
Even
yeah. I'm
Paulo.
surprised that nobody really looked into it other than Paolo, really, which is
I played it for one tournament, and then I lost
Yeah.
to Drytron 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yes.
every deck would have lost that game.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
is
we
the
got,
deck. Yeah, it's the average.
But yeah,
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll see what
I-
happens.
I
So far,
f-
I'm a bit disappointed, but
That's
yeah, we'll
fair.
see.
I think that's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
mainly,
fans-
yeah. I think that's mainly it we have for today. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel next week on Monday.
Yes.
Yes, that's the main thing. Monday,
Is
so
it
I
on
guess
Monday or is it the 30th?
it's the 27th, right? I think 27th.
I think it's the 27th. Yeah, it's 27th. Yeah,
27th, so Monday. Yeah.
So it's,
Perfect timing.
I hope they actually give proper gameplay to most.
Yeah. So choose next
Not
week's
just another
podcast.
teaser trailer.
Yeah, next week podcast is gonna be we going over the Master Duel thing. I guess
Yeah,
that's gonna be interesting. At least some Yu-Gi-Oh news, even if it's not the game.
Hopefully, it's actually good news, or it's
Nah,
going to be another hour of us.
It's gonna be 15 minutes of Master Duel. There has to be something. This podcast has like 15 minutes. They have 15 minutes of presentation. Surely we can milk it. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, right? Like, based on what we know, Master Duel has to come out soon. Hopefully, we can.
all right, we'll see next week.
Yeah,
It was such a good opportunity to have a good format, and then Master Duel gets released, and more people get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of this
And then
war
you
fest.
can, you can imagine these streamers, like I've seen Carl Blake getting into it as well, right? He sits down, he downloads Master Duel, chat, I'm going to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And he just plays into Drytron matches all night. And
Alpha Zeta.
What is going on? Like, this is a game.
Yeah.
You're
Why
meant
is
to enjoy this.
That is probably the
Carl's not
worst
played.
way to promote the game. Like,
Why is this guy
awful.
playing with himself for 10 minutes? Why do I have 5 cards and he has 8 negates?
no, Drytron is probably like a really funny deck to play in Master Duel because people are just gonna rage quit. I don't think they have the time to like watch you play.
I mean, I don't know. It depends if ladder is going to be rated or it's going to be matches or singles. It has to be matches by Yu-Gi-Oh standards, but no
There'll
other
probably
card
be
game
both.
does it.
Like, there'll probably be a ladder for both, but there'll also probably be a turn timer. So maybe they'll just nerf combo by game design.
Yo, APM? You need APM like a StarCraft
Need
player to
APM.
play
No,
combo?
I don't think that's gonna happen because they're gonna need to keep the game as similar as possible to the TCG.
And
So-
it needs to be able to be played somewhat fast by people on mobile as well. But to be honest, like Hearthstone, I guess another mobile game, like for combo decks, APM was an actual skill, non-ironically. Like a lot of Hearthstone decks required you to play very fast.
Yeah. Like I mean, back in like the early days with Grim Patron,
Yeah.
I was watching
that's the one.
people work out math in their head for I can't remember how long the turn time was, but their turn time
it's
less
like
like 30
9
seconds, and then
Nah,
they're just
90.
like being a hurricane for the rest,
Yeah.
and that was a skill.
I play a lot of Patron Warrior and the Light Warden Priest deck, which are basically the same deck. They make it like a big guy. You gotta do like a bunch of math, and you just execute things for like 30 seconds. So it would be funny to see Drytron players scrambling to do Alpha Zeta.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, to be honest, of the balance that we're gonna have at the time, I'm really excited for Master Duel. I think
Yeah.
all of us are.
For
Right?
sure, for sure.
Like,
That's like the main thing, I guess. Let's see. Hopefully, we have more news tomorrow. Not
and
tomorrow,
hopefully
next Monday.
the January balance is gonna be a good format. Hopefully,
I think
because-
January is gonna be a big reset. I think, to be honest, we all kind of expected this. This ban list should be like a soft thing, and then January usually is like the big reset.
I mean,
I
this
just
is what happened. This is
Because
what
of
happened with
because of
Eternal format, right?
Yeah, it's because of the Megatin releases. Because they do this
Yeah.
soft, so Megatin sells, and then January you just ban everything that was in the Megatins. So you ban
I mean,
Aether,
we-
you ban Dragons, you ban everything.
We've said this a lot already, but like the only thing I would have wanted to be different is just Eva get banned, and then the rest would be okay, whatever. At
Yeah.
least Drytron's fine.
No, there's no logic for Imperial Order not to have been banned this list. I'm
Yeah.
still
That's true.
molding about it.
Alright,
I think you make a case for a lot of cards to get banned, right? Like Called by the Grave as well. Why is there one?
true, I'd like to call by then. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think this mainly we're kind of repeating ourselves at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening to this depression gate for 52 minutes so far.
Yeah,
No
this
one's
has been-
happy. This is the most sad I've been after a ban list.
Me
But
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks you guys
I
for
think this is
coming.
our like least energetic podcast so far, like the least
That is true.
energetic.
Yeah.
Even Hash is down. He's not even being loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that says a lot.
This is a lot, yeah. So shout out to our sponsors, MetaMax, Card Market, The Brotherhood Games, best locals in London. You can also get our merch at gamersapparel.com/the disciples. There's a link in the description with a discount code. I think it's disciples 5% off. If it's
sure.
not, it's gonna be in the description. I'm not the one that usually does these things.
Hearing this, put this in.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly. It just copies and pastes from other videos. You think Mighty actually works? Impossible. If you're listening to this on YouTube, we also have this on Spotify. If you're listening to Spotify, I also have it on YouTube. So check the other one, subscribe there, so we can reach more people. And comment your thoughts on the ban list. What you think missed? If you think we are just wrong and it's the best ban list ever.
I
We
would
are.
be willing.
I want to see everyone mauled
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
I
Call,
would be willing to invite them next week and talk to them about why they think
True.
this balance is
If you
Yeah.
think Eva Chuan was a good hit, you're automatically invited.
Yeah. I really, really want to see that. Like, some people probably exist. That think
Yeah.
it's fine.
So after this, you might want to look through the comments and see Hash engaging in a bit of war of words with.
Yeah, any
Some of our fans,
Eva
but-
apologists.
God damn it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, thanks guys. See you all next week for a hopefully more exciting one.
Yeah, hopefully.